Hello.
Judge.
Hi, you're chewing like a cow in the field. Why are you chewing gum up here?
I'm sorry. Give me a spit it out.
Hi, I'm chewing it loud.
There you go.
That's okay. Nobody, nobody knows unless somebody tells them.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me see here.
Judge, may I?
Mhm.
There was a status report for early dismissal and discharge
Mhm.
submitted back in November.
Mhm.
At that time, Mr. Smith had not been on probation for 5 years yet.
Mhm.
And so you said to reapply at the 5-year term.
Mhm.
ADA Garahan also opposed the application at that time. He opposed it again.
Mhm.
After speaking with him, he indicates he's opposing it
Based
because
upon
of
offense.
yes, based on the offense. So we did resubmit last month,
Mhm.
and it was denied again. But I spoke with you, Judge,
Mhm.
and kind of gave you the background on Mr. Smith, and you said to bring him in, and you would like to speak with him.
All right. When you drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'll pass.
All right. So I want a UA today. He can go to felony drug court, see if they can give him a UA today. And then before we leave here, state.
Yes. Jason's not in here, but he's the one that I've been talking to.
Before he leaves here today, because there are Facebook posts that were in the stipulations. What does your Facebook look like now?
I don't post anything on Facebook now.
All right, let's let them see if you have no objection. Let them see your Facebook page and let's see what's in it in the last time you posted.
That's fine.
All right, so we're going to do that, do a UA, and then if all comes back clear, you're going to tell me your story about how you changed, and I'll make a decision on terminating you early.
Yes, yes,
And
sir.
thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all right. All righty. All right, so I see your smile. So everything went well?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Smith's UA was negative.
Hmm.
ADA Garahan went through his Facebook. No concerns.
Okay, so tell me about yourself. What have you been doing? What are your plans?
Actually, I have a letter. Can I read it?
Mm-hmm.
Dear Honorable Judge
All
Boyd.
right, everyone, please whisper.
Okay. Dear Honorable Judge Boyd, thank you for the opportunity to be on probation instead of time in prison. Over the course of being on probation for the last 5 years, I have learned to better my life and build a career for myself in the automotive industry. Through probation, I have learned self-control, discipline, and patience. I took things for granted and I made bad mistakes that hurt people. And I ask for your forgiveness and the forgiveness of those people. My time in the Bexar County Jail changed my life. The Lord saved me from death by putting me in the jail. That is what I believe. Through jail, I became connected with Cornerstone Church, which was the stepping stone into my faith today. The Lord motivated me to better my life. I went back to school and graduated from St. Philip's College with an associate degree of applied science in automotive technology in May of 2024. Since the beginning of school, I've worked at multiple automotive shops to gain experience and certifications. I currently work at Freedom Chevrolet, and I've been there since January of 2024. I have learned to live on my own, pay rent and utilities. I plan to go further with a relationship with God and Jesus. I have goals and dreams set for my life. I want to use my gift of working on cars to help people who need it. and I ask you humbly consider my request for early termination so that I may move past this part of my life and show my family that I have successfully changed and completed my term of probation. Thank you, Honorable Judge Boyd, for your time and listening to me. I give God all the glory for the change in my life, and I give Jesus all the credit for being where I am today. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad you were able to turn your life around. And what I can tell you is normally, I'll do early termination, but you have to show me something. You have to show me that you've changed and that you won't be back here
Yes,
for anything and that you're going to be a law-abiding citizen.
yes, Judge.
All right, probation, what has he completed?
Judge, I like to point out that he had no prior criminal history. He has maintained full-time employment as well as completing with his associate's degree. His field visits were completed. There were no issues during those field visits. There was an 11 p.m. curfew implemented upon being granted probation. He completed that with no issues. 200 community service hours were also completed. He's met all of his financial obligations, all of his UAs, with the exception of a couple of diluteds back in 2022. But all of his UAs have been negative, Judge.
And he was negative today.
He was negative today, Judge. We just think at this time, he is a good candidate for early termination.
Right. And there's no restitution, correct?
No, Judge.
All right. Well, congratulations. Here's the thing, don't go out celebrating everything that you needed, the discipline you needed to successfully complete this probation. You're still going to need that discipline in real life because let me just tell you, you're not going to have a probation officer looking over your shoulder where you're saying, oh, if I do this, I'm going to get in trouble with probation. You're going to have to do that on your own. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
But what I can tell you, if there are any obstacles that come up in your way and you need some advice, if I'm here, you can still come back here and ask me, okay?
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, your probation is terminated. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. I appreciate it. And I want to say one thing, if I
Sure.
can, before I go. When I first was here, I don't know if you remember, it was in 2020. I sat in those seats over there, and it feels good today having my freedom and not having to go back to the Bear County jail or back to prison or in prison. And I thank you for giving me that chance of being out to see my family and to show my family that I can change. And when I was here, I told you at that time that I gave my life to God. And you had told me at that time, when I first got probation, that a lot of people, when they get out of the jail, they say they believe in God and they follow religion, but then they go right back. I wanted to prove everyone that thought that wrong. And I wanted to prove the people that thought I was going to go back to jail wrong. And so thank you.
All right, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Do well.
All right, I will.
All right.
What we just witnessed is a textbook example of how the justice system evaluates true rehabilitation, and it's not based on words alone. Let's break this down. From the very beginning, the judge made it clear that this wasn't going to be an easy approval. Even though Mr. Smith had already served several years on probation, that alone doesn't guarantee early termination. In fact, the prosecution initially opposed it, which signals that the original offense carried enough weight to raise concern even years later. But here's where things start to shift. The judge didn't rely on assumptions. She demanded proof. A same-day drug test, a review of his social media activity, and a direct conversation about his life changes. This is critical because in many cases, courts look for consistency across multiple areas: behavior, accountability, and lifestyle. And in this case, everything checked out. Negative drug test, clean online presence, no red flags. Now let's talk about that letter, because that was a pivotal moment. This wasn't just someone saying I've changed. He backed it up with specific actions: completing an associate degree, maintaining full-time employment, paying his financial obligations, and staying compliant with every probation condition. That's exactly what judges look for: measurable, sustained effort over time. But here's the deeper question for you watching. Do you think transformation like this is genuine, or do you think people sometimes just learn how to say the right things to impress the court? Because the judge clearly believed this was real. And not just because of the letter, but because of the track record behind it. Another important detail: there was no restitution owed and no prior criminal history. That plays a huge role. Courts are far more willing to grant early termination when someone demonstrates that their offense was an isolated incident rather than part of a pattern. And then comes the ruling: probation terminated. But notice something important. The judge didn't just say you're free to go. She gave a warning that's actually more significant than the ruling itself. She emphasized discipline. Because once probation ends, there's no one watching, no officer, no check-ins, no safety net. At that point, every decision becomes a personal responsibility. That's the real test. And the final moment, when Mr. Smith reflects on sitting in that courtroom years ago, facing a completely different future, that's what makes this case powerful. It's not just about avoiding prison. It's about proving over time that change is possible and sustaining it. So now we turn it over to you. Do you think early termination should be granted more often to people who show this level of change? Or should the system remain strict no matter what? Cases like this sit right at the intersection of justice and second chances, and not everyone agrees where that line should be drawn. If you found this case as powerful and thought-provoking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.